PFF is a well-known frenemy with the Minnesota Vikings. Sometimes PFF is on the list, sometimes they're off the list, sometimes they're on the list, and sometimes they're off the list. But usually they're on the list. And they're going through during the offseason and ranking every single team, offensive, defensive units, special teamers. Well, they don't do special teams because they're PFF. Quarterbacks, wide receivers, etc. And we're going through and critiquing. Basically, Vikings are always going to be too low, but also we're pretty realistic. And when they went through and ranked the defensive line units ahead of the 2021 season, we're like, okay, the Vikings were one of the worst defensive lines in the NFL last year. Danielle Hunter injured and out. Michael Pierce opted out, and they were just bad. They were straight up booty last year. But with the addition of Diesel, Dalvin Tomlinson, bringing back Steve Weatherly, drafting Patrick Jones II, as well as Janarius Robinson and Jalen Twyman, oh my. Plus, oh yeah, Danielle's back, and Michael Pierce is back. Well, hopefully Danielle's back. The Vikings from 2020, the D-line, down here, up here. I think, frankly, they're one of the most improved units in the National Football League. But I was like, okay, it's PFF. They're not so hot about stopping the run, and that's what the Vikings' MO is going to be up front with Diesel and Pierce. So, okay, maybe they'll be top 10, fringe top 10. I'll take that, especially with Danielle back, being one of the best edge rushers in the NFL again and resuming things after that neck heals up. Okay, but dun, 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 dun. A little bit surprising. Not as disrespectful as I thought it was going to be. Because if the Vikings were dropped down to 20, okay, then we have a real issue on our hands. But split the difference. I thought top 10. They said 15. I would have been mad at 20. So here we go. And this is the write-up. The Vikings defensive line ended up as one of the NFL's worst in 2020. Thank you. Understatement. The group ranked 30th in expected points allowed per run play and had the lowest pressure rate in the league, both with and without blitzing. And that is with 5 games of Yannick the freaking Ngakoue. The 2021 version should look significantly different. Danielle Hunter and Michael Pierce are expected to return from injury and an opt-out, respectively. Minnesota also brought in Diesel, Dalvin Tomlinson for agency. Woo! Pierce and Tomlinson both rank in at least the 83rd percentile of interior defenders to run defense grade over the last 4 seasons. The concern for Minnesota is whether anyone besides Hunter will be able to generate consistent pass rush production, given that Tomlinson isn't a formidable penetrating 3-tech. Now, we talked about how people are selling Dalvin Tomlinson short as just the run stuffing guy, but when he was given an opportunity, didn't get after it. Now, he's not a quick twitch Aaron Donald type 3-tech. He's not going to be that guy, but he will bring power. Plus, on passing downs, he can kick over to nose. Michael Pierce gets off the field. You bring in a guy like James Lynch or Hercules Mata'afa or Jalen Twyman at that 3-tech spot. Diesel's at the nose, and then just go win the day. So, yeah, I think that people aren't seeing the forest through the trees at this point. Plus, you look at this defensive line. So, hopefully, Danielle Hunter will be back. You got Dalvin, you got Michael Pierce, and I think that DJ Wanham year 2 can blow up, especially if Danielle is back and is near 100%. All of that attention is going to go to 99, and then DJ Wanham is going to feast, baby. Single, one-on-one, he's going to eat. Weatherly is back, solid veteran. Can play inside and outside. You can't sell him short. Armand for Watts, James Lynch, Jalen Holmes, meh. But I'm more excited about the 3 draft picks, Patrick Jones and Janarius Robinson. I think 2 guys that in a couple years potentially could be stars for the Vikings, potentially could be Pro Bowl type players. Jalen Twyman might be the steal of the draft, and obviously he got some bad advice, put on some bad weight, but that's why he fell to the 6th. I think the Vikings may have gotten a steal here where he shed that weight. He's going to be back being quick, amazing 2019 Jalen Twyman, the guy who put up 10.5 sacks and just get after it. Plus, I love Willikis. I love Mata'afa. I love Jordan Brailford. So let's get after this thing. So, okay, 15, certainly not as bad as I thought it would be, but you look at who's ranked ahead. I would take the Vikings over the Patriots. And with defensive line, I do include edge rushers. PFF does too. So even if they're a stand-up outside linebacker, they're essentially defensive linemen, right? Packers. So they hype up the Packers, but they really only have 2 studs in Kenny Clark and Za'Darius. That's it. Rashawn Gary's been a draft bust and is like, okay, sure, whatever. Cardinals, where I love me some Chandler Bones Jones. JJ, even though he's not the JJ Watt of old. Marcus Golden certainly improved, but other than that, okay, sure. Browns, yeah. They added Clowney, you got Myles Garrett, you got rid of Sheldon. I mean, okay. Maybe Jordan Elliott pops up in year 2. Sure. Von Miller and Bradley Chubb will always be dangerous in Denver. The Niners, yes. Bosa, D Ford, Kinlaw, hopefully can step up in year 2. Eric Armstead, sure. The Saints. How are the Saints in the top 10 after they lost Trey Hendrickson? And Cam Jordan is starting to age out just a smidge. I don't really get it. 7, the Jets. Yeah, respect to the Jets. Quinnen, whatever. 6, the Bears. Really? Now, I understand that Khalil Mack is PFF's poster child. That like they see him as a minor deity, whatever. But Roy Robertson Harris is gone. They may have to get rid of Akeem Hicks. So that's whatever at this point. The Eagles, sure. Cox, Graham, very underrated. But they got to start replacing these guys because they're starting to age up. The Rams. Yes, even though we've talked about how LA is massively overhyped because they're trying to build a market. Aaron Donald, yeah. First, second Hall of Famer. And then Fowler and Floyd really stepped up because, they're getting one-on-one matchups on the outside all the time. And even though they lost Michael Brockers, who was hilariously traded to Detroit to pair up with Jared Goff after he threw him under the bus, that's whatever. The Bucks, yes, the Bucks with Shaq Barrett and Sue, and they're just gross up front. And also JPP. Washington, I think Washington may have the most underrated defensive line in the league because, like they listed, John Allen, Payne, Montez Sweat, Chase Young, all studs, all can get after it. Now, it's going to be hard to keep that defensive line together because all these guys are going to get top-tier money. But as of right now, when they're all on the rookie deals, man, Ron Rivera and company, man, they can just get after it. And one, Steelers, where you lose Bud Dupree, you lose Alex Highsmith, sure, but TJ Watt is a stud, Cam Hayward is a stud, Tuitt is a stud, Tyson Alualu's really had a nice career renaissance after being seen as a draft bust with the Jaguars. I get it, but okay, that's more of a legacy pick, but I think that the Vikings very firmly could and should be top 10, but it's okay. People sleeping on the Vikings, let them sleep. 15, it's a slight disrespect. It's not a complete disrespect, but it's certainly not fair either because just look at this sexy time. I mean, once Andre Patterson gets his mitts on guys like Jones and Twyman and Robinson, and they have a full offseason and full preseason, these guys are going to rock out with everything out in the 3 preseason games. I can't wait to see it. Plus, DJ won him year 2. Come on, son. DJ Danielle Jr., let's go. But even though it was only a slight disrespect, not a massive disrespect, yeah, PFF, you are back on the list. There you go. Your thoughts. PFF ranks the Vikings defensive line 15th in the NFL heading into 2021. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support that work? Post on the Venmo. But until next time, Skol, production value.